Coming up next on The Jeff Crilley Show, she's been in the fashion world for most of her adult life, and now she's producing fashion shows and events. Her journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is The Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, the only thing I know about fashion is what my wife buys me. But shout out to my wife, a real-life Barbie girl, Victoria Snee. She's the head of marketing for Highland Park Village, and she hangs around the fashion scene quite a bit, and she gets called on by the different TV stations to come in and comment on fashions. But that's all I know. It's just really being around it. So I'm fascinated with people who have great fashion sense, and somebody who has a lot of fashion sense is my next guest, Robyn Chauvin. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we were talking just before the show, and I said, when did you know that you had fashion sense? How far back does it go?
It goes back to the very beginning. I think, I started with Barbies probably, very young, 4 or 5, dressing them in Kleenex, which my mother no longer buys because I used it all, and she still to this day is like, oh no, you'll dress your Barbies in it. But I was constantly dreaming about different looks or creating different ideas, and it just always was so inspiring to me. I got Vogue from a very young age, cut out pictures and filled the inside of my closet with images.
Wow.
So I knew all the designers and watched all the shows, and it was my dream world.
And then you told me that your life took a little bit of a detour because you wanted to go into broadcasting.
I did. I went to LSU, majored in broadcast journalism, and actually started in accounting because I've taken a lot of different paths.
Sure, that's okay.
But majored in broadcast journalism, thought that was what I really wanted to do, and got out into the life of it, and was like, actually, this is really difficult. I have a lot of respect.
Yeah, well, thank you. And I'll tell you what, I loved my news career, but you didn't miss anything. You're just
it's a
fine.
really difficult life.
No regrets.
Yeah.
No regrets. Okay, now then you stuck your big toe into law for a while.
I did. I went to law school, graduated from LSU Law School.
Wow.
And moved to Texas with my husband, took the Texas bar and passed the Texas bar. Started interviewing at firms, and just couldn't find a fit. That just wasn't, the passion just wasn't there. And so that's when my husband was like, maybe you should find what you're actually passionate about. And so I thought, I'll go to Neiman Marcus because I've always wanted to be in fashion, and I will work in their legal department. And that was kind of my plan. But when I got there and started interviewing, and they all sort of said, have you thought about actually, working in fashion? We have this great executive development program. So I thought, that's actually really exactly what I want to do.
Wow.
And so I started with them, and I was with them for 15 years.
That's amazing. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so, and as you were a buyer for Neiman's, or what was your title?
I did a few different things, but most of it was in buying. I bought women's contemporary, advanced contemporary, and then women's designer and couture.
And I think that's a lot of pressure, to be honest, because you're judged kind of by, did you make the right decision? Did you buy the right thing? Did you feel a lot of pressure during those 15 years?
You know what, I did. I think things sort of came somewhat naturally to me because I had a strong opinion on what things should look like, or what women would like. How do they want to dress? They want to feel beautiful and special. And so I kind of always let that guide me. But it is, you're going in and spending millions and millions and millions of dollars, and you're sort of a mutual fund manager. So I have a whole bunch of brands that I bought. And really at the end of the day, the most important thing was the bottom line. So what was going to bring in the most profit.
Absolutely.
So it was really, I mean, it's a huge business that I was running at the time, upwards of, $80 million a year. It was huge. So a lot of responsibility.
Well, and as I was doing my homework for the show, I found a wonderful video. This was produced by Neiman's in 2019. Let's go ahead and roll it.
Milan style is really all about being bold and taking a risk. My name is Robyn, and I'm a women's fashion buyer at Neiman Marcus. Whenever I'm packing for Milan Fashion Week, I'm always thinking about extra details. As of late, been skewing more toward a slip dress. It was so versatile. This Forte slip dress is exactly what I'm talking about. When I step off the plane, I am going to throw on this beautiful topper, which is from Forte, belt in the waist, put on a stiletto boot, and you have a beautiful outfit that transitions really easily. The ladies in Italy love a head-to-toe look. Dolce & Gabbana are so well known for a beautiful classic leopard. They did this exclusive for us this season with the butterfly. So we have all of these beautiful pieces in the leopard with the butterfly that can be worn head to toe, which is really a great statement. Or for the lady who wants to break it up, I love the leopard on top, and then pairing it with this beautiful black leather short. Another great brand is MSGM. This season they have a very feminine bow blouse to step it up, adding this beautiful silver trouser. I think it's a nice, bold statement to make with such a classic blouse. I love Milan because I think the ladies there really know how to take risks in fashion, and they really celebrate.
Wow, what a cool job. And you did that for
It's a cool job.
15 years.
Yeah, for 15 years.
I also want to put a shout out to Jan Strempel. She's just a legend in fashion. And tell us about your relationship with Jan over the years.
So when I decided to make the move from Neiman's, and it was really kind of perpetuated by several different things. I have 2 little boys. I didn't want to go to Paris and Milan 14 times a year. It sounds great, but it's really hard, especially with small kids. I started working with Jan and producing fashion events, fashion shows, and doing some styling and that sort of thing. So she really was my mentor when I was creating this new role for myself and what I wanted to do. So I worked with her for quite some time, really learned the ropes and how to do this in the right way and the best way possible.
And she's just a legend in the industry. I mean, everybody knows Jan around the globe. Yes.
Absolutely. Everyone knows
Okay,
Jan.
we're going to roll a clip here in a second, but I want you to set this up. So this is the Salvation Army's fashion show. So why don't you set the stage for what we're about to see?
So I now produce the Salvation Army Women's Auxiliary Fashion Show. It's a show made up of donations from all of the most fashionable women in Dallas's closets. So it's a huge show. We pull together all these looks, it's 112 looks, all mixed up out of these women's wonderful closets. And we style and produce this big show. And then Salvation Army auctions off the looks and makes lots of money for the charity. And it's kind of a win all around for everybody.
That's wonderful. Okay, let's go ahead and run the clip.
She's the baddest like mom. Baddest like mom. She's the baddest like mom. The baddest like mom. She's the baddest like mom.
Wow. See, you're used to pressure because, I mean, think about that. There's all eyes are on you. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that people don't get to see. They get to see the glamour.
Yeah.
But like, tell me one of your favorite stories so far of putting together a show and kind of saving the day, because things can go wrong at the very last minute and you gotta hit the mark, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're really, I think we've built this amazing team, and I've inherited a lot of the team from Jan because she built this incredible team that puts these shows together. And that's primarily who my team is now, and they're amazing. And so I think being able to rely on your team when those things go wrong, we had for Salvation Army, because it's made up of all different shapes and sizes and everything. So it's a really interesting show because not everyone is a size 0 and
Right.
10 feet tall. You really have to have a variation of models. One of our models got sick at the very last minute. It was like 7 a.m. and the show was at 11. So it's a scramble, but you know what? We got everybody together and reworked everything, figured it out, and it was a huge success. So, staying on your toes and being flexible.
And I love that. In the news business, they say anchors don't win Emmy Awards for a show that went perfect.
That went right, yeah.
They win Emmy Awards when the prompter goes down and they're ad-libbing. And so I think, for you, the fact that you can be nimble and adjust to the stuff that life throws you.
Yeah.
I also want to show a video. This is from FGI Dallas's Night of Stars. So as we roll this video, I want you to kind of talk about, what we're looking at right now.
So this show is incredible. And FGI Night of Stars, which is actually coming up on November 10th again, we highlight and honor some of the biggest names in fashion and kind of art and interior design, all these different people we bring together. So last year, I helped Jan produce this show as well. We brought in Pierre Cardin, the classically amazing house of Pierre Cardin. They brought in all of their beautiful looks from Paris. We styled them all, created this beautiful runway show. And it was just amazing. It's stuff that people don't get to see. A lot of it was the vintage pieces from their archives. So it's really like works of art and
cool.
pieces of history too.
And Robyn, your eyes light up when you talk about this. It's really cool, and what an honor to be able to work with such great brands. You also have had many accolades from the media. We're going to put up full screen a nice article. You were featured in D Magazine. That had to be such an honor.
It was such an honor. Truly, I was telling you earlier, I didn't, working for Neiman's for so long, a company that I adored and learned so much from. Coming out of that and then being on my own, doing my own thing, I was like, I don't know if I should, CEO, I'm not sure. And they were like, no, you have your own company now. You are a CEO. And so that was a big moment for me. It was huge.
Okay, so in the little time we have left, I want you to encourage all the young ladies out there who also, are like a mini you and they're dreaming of being you one day. What do you want to say to those young ladies?
I think it's so important to really follow your passion. Fashion was what I was most interested in from when I was very young, and I kind of tried not to go there because I didn't realize I could actually make a career in it, especially in a small town in Louisiana. It just, it didn't really feel like something I could do. But I just got sucked back in. There was no way that's not what I was going to do. It just drew me back in. So I think really following what you love and what you're passionate about, you'll find your way and you'll find something amazing that you can do with your talents. But that's really what it comes down to. Because fashion's also not an easy life.
Right.
But it's worth it if it's what you love.
Outstanding. That's a wonderful way to end this program. And we're also going to leave with her Instagram page. Robyn, you have been an amazing guest. Thanks for blessing us with your wit and wisdom. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.